So this is kind of a tribute to Steve's leadership in innovation and creativity and engaging products.
It was a warm spring morning down at the Main Street schoolyard. Excitement was in the air. "Hey, check this out," said Charlie. "The school's Golden Places contest has been announced. Come on, let's go get our kits." And so the kits were handed out. Everyone identical, everyone with a set of precise instructions. Each student set off to work. Charlie knew how to follow directions, made great progress, and was quite proud of his work. Meanwhile, Maya was taking her time. She watched the world around her, noticing other ways things go places. The next morning, Charlie was finished and carefully inspected his work, but a noise interrupted his thoughts. "Wow," said Charlie. "What is that? You didn't follow the directions, did you?" "I started to," said Maya, "but I wanted to try something different." Maya, what does that have to do with a go-kart?" asked Charlie. "Who said it has to be a go-kart?" Suddenly my project doesn't look very exciting." "Oh, but you're a great builder," said Maya. "Hey, maybe we should work together." And so they did. First, they compared notes. Charlie was good at details. Maya, good at dreaming up ideas. Each had a different approach to getting things done. Then they got to work. Side by side, they helped one another to build something new, something inspired, something spectacular. The next morning, everyone gathered for the final challenge, the big race. Each student stood alongside his or her finished project, each cart a perfect replica. Well, almost perfect. "Ready?" asked Charlie. "Ready as I'll ever be," said Maya. Some of the other students weren't so convinced. "Ha! You may think you're going places, but you're just going to lose."
"Students, start your engines. On your mark. Get set."
Charlie shouted. "Maya, they're all ahead of us. What are we waiting for?" "No worries," said Maya. "Flaps down, throttle up." What? Whoa, did you see that? And we have our winner. Charlie, Maya were ecstatic. "We did it. We finished," said Charlie. "Finished? I don't think so. We've only just begun." "Right. Flaps down, throttle up." And off they went. They really were going places. They were going above and beyond.
Done by some friends of ours, twins, Paul and Peter Reynolds. Okay, we gotta wrap things up. So another reason why 21st century learning and arts education will prevail is that we have a promise. And if you join me in this and recite this with me, words are very important. If after reciting it you don't believe me, you can say, "Just kidding, it's okay." So here we go. On your mark.
I promise to do all I can
to keep the spark of curiosity, creativity, and learning alive in every child, to help all children discover their talents, develop their passions, deepen their understanding, and apply all this to helping others and to creating a better world for us all. I think that kind of captures why we're involved in education. didn't hear too many. Just kidding, so that's good. Okay, and last, 21st century learning will make us happy. So there's an ancient Chinese proverb that says, if you want happiness for an hour, take a nap. If you want happiness for a day, go fishing. If you want happiness for a whole month, says something about the Chinese character, I'm not sure. If you want happiness for a whole year, inherit a fortune. But if you want happiness for an entire lifetime, help someone else. Actually, positive psychology agrees with this. So, and as educators, people who involve helping others, you're going to have a long and happy life as you help all of our children become 21st century learners in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Bernie. I've got two guests here to start a brief questioning period before we break for lunch. So, Charles, if you'd come up here, I'd like to introduce Dr. Pat Burke, who is the Associate Professor of Education in the Graduate School of Education and Educational Leadership and Policy from Portland State University, and Trip Goodall, who is the Director of High Schools for the Portland Public Schools District. If you both come up here, I'm sure you'd like to ask a few questions that are that have come to mind, perhaps. And I'll ask you to share a microphone with you two guys.
We're in trouble now.
And share a mic. And I'll start with Trip. What questions do you have for our authors here? We can start with you gentlemen, and then there may be some questions from the audience.
Well, first, thanks for coming to Portland and doing this. You know, listening to this, and I saw your slide that showed all the corporations that you work with. So, given the political agenda of a lot of corporations and the influence that they have, what role do they play in influencing policy as we move forward? And I say that cautiously, in the sense that I'm hoping that they're as deeply invested in this for all the right reasons, as opposed to what I think are oftentimes maybe misguided reasons.
Good.
All right, well, I was in a corporation until 3 months ago, so early left the Oracle a bit earlier, right? So I was at Cisco until 3 months ago, and I've joined academia. I'd like to point out that we sometimes get the wrong impression of what a corporation is. On both sides, meaning a corporation is sometimes this amorphous charging machine with no soul that's going to do whatever he wants to do. And at the same time, the corporation is also some of very caring individuals that really are there to do the right thing. And so it really depends on who you have at the control of what in a corporation. So it's hard to say it's one way or the other. It's really an odd blend of both. And depending on the priorities at a given moment and the health of the company, the fiscal health of the company, you'll have behaviors slanted in one direction or the other. So that's really something to keep in mind and to realize very, very deeply. So you do have altruistic behaviors because, well, you know, we live in the environment where we work and we care for the society in which we work. But at the same time, the profit imperative does push things related to, say, cost of labor and so on, to choose work to be offshore, not necessarily because we like doing it as corporations, but simply because we have to remain competitive. How much of that pressure for competitiveness is also self-imposed? I personally have a view that a lot of it is self-imposed. When companies are generating literally $1 billion a quarter in cash, and they still find the latitude to lay off workers, you say, well, don't tell me that it's because you're losing money or you're about to lose money. You're pushing that profit imperative too far. Now, I understand that even as you grow fast as a company, you will always have mismatches. You will just have the wrong set of talent, and as your skill mix changes, you're going to need to adapt to that. And that's a justified reason to shed off staff. And if it's strictly for the sake of trying to squeeze more out of the remaining people, that I would have no problem with. So I'm giving you a nuanced response here, so you realize that we don't have, even in the list of participants you saw there, you don't have a single behavior that drives everybody. we do have this mix of altruistic behavior because people like Bernie and I live in the societies where we work, but at the same time you also have the imperative that is somewhat, I say, dispassionate. It's not totally connected, and it's going to do what the financial imperative tells it to do. So when it translates to what should be taught, very often we're afraid that companies are really saying, just give me drones that will do exactly what I want them to do. Now, that's actually an old fallacy because if companies were only getting those drones, they would sink very, very fast. We do need, as corporations, any organization for that matter, we do need people who are capable of communicating, creating, collaborating, etc. So that is legitimate. It's both for fiscal reasons as well as for humanitarian and societal reasons, and there's agreement on that.
And I'll speak more to the common ground that why all those corporations do join in this is because they need those skills. There was a bunch of studies done saying, what do you need out of the education system? What product do you want to come out of the education system? And total agreement that those list of skills was exactly what's necessary for their companies to be successful. And there's a disconnect in that the education system is really not developing some of those. And at the same time, the goal of the education system right now is reading and math, right? That's all, pretty much all they're tested on. That's the assessment system. And any businessman, when they look at a goal, they achieve it, right? That's the goal, that's what business is about. So when they get involved in education, it's about achieving the test scores in math and reading, and graduating more kids than we're graduating now. What the Partnership for 21st Century Skills group tried to do and is still doing is saying that definition of success is too narrow. It's way too narrow. We need to expand it. And once you expand that definition and have a new goal, then I think we're going to be on the right track. But currently, the business population said, okay, if this is the game, these are the rules, and that's the goal, and we have this assessment system in place, we're going to do the best we can. And that's what they funded. That's what they've supported a lot. So we're on the edge of expanding the goal, and once we do, once that's in place, and hopefully that'll be soon, we've been waiting for a long time, once that goal is redefined and expanded, I think we'll have more participation in business in the right ways.